Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversation dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man, Brother DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material is coming out. IG, Elephant Man underscore podcast, Facebook / Elephant Man Podcast, YouTube, hit the Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the bottom right corner to subscribe / Poster Boys. Also on TikTok at Elephant Man 219. Blessings to everybody. Blessings to everybody this week. Blessings to all. And we just thank the Most High Yah for what He's done. Thank the Most High Yah for what He's doing. Uh, Praying for those down in Florida. That was an interesting uh, thing uh, that happened down there. So praying for those people down there in Florida. Um, yeah, man. I had an interesting week too. Blessings to everybody. But you know what? This we got to take this walk one day at a time, one day at a time. I'm gonna tell you like that. I'll tell you that much right now. We got to take this walk one day at a time. Okay. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with somebody, share on your page, um, whatever platform you're watching on. But we just got to take it one day at a time. And then we got to cast our cares upon Him. That's one thing I will say. We got to cast our cares upon the Most High Abba Yahuwah. He knows our frame. But in the same sense, we got to do self care, and self care is trusting not leaning not into our own understanding, but trusting and relying on the finished work of Yahushua Hamashiach. Trusting and relying on the finished work of Yahushua Hamashiach, and not letting our uh, flesh rise up. Friday, I was kind of perturbed, I guess. I don't know what to kind of upset about a few things, right? And so we supposed to leave at a certain time from the job, from the gig, and I was like, you know what, I'm done for the day. I just had it was an interesting week. I'm just being transparent. So I'm leaving, and one of the supervisors was like, yo, it's not time to leave. And before I know it, it was so fast, y'all. I turned around and said, I leave when I want to leave, you know. And no sooner as I got in the car, a block up, I was convicted by the Ruach all the way home. I was convicted by the Ruach by what I said and how I said it. I was feeling really bad. You know, it wasn't like a "you not the boss of me" statement, but I was just like, "Yo, I done had enough. I got to get off this roller coaster for today. This is crazy." Um, yeah, so pray for me for real. But I did email that supervisor the next day, like, "Yo, you know what? I apologize for what I said and how I said it on that Friday. I was frustrated about something else, and I took it out on you. There's no reason to not be professional. There's no reason to not respond. There's no reason to respond to you the way I did." So he was like, "Yeah, I understand that. No problem. Thank you for emailing me back. But still, I had to. We have to watch ourselves. You know what I mean? Pressure bust pipes, right? We got to cast our cares upon them. I know we talk about, the joy of the Lord is our strength, the joy of the Most High is our strength, but we got to actively participate. We got to actively and be cognizant of that. If not, then you can get out of control or out of character. Now, I might not go crazy, you choking somebody down or going upside nobody's head. Now, that's the extremes. But I'm saying just what you say. You know what I mean? It's not what you say; it's how you say it, right? We all dealing with something sometimes, but the Most High is our strength. The Most High is our guide. He shows us, He leads us and guides us into all truth. And so I was being transparent when it came to that. So yeah, I don't know why confession is good. for the soul or whatever. But I just feeling real bad, so I kind of apologize to him or whatever. Shout out to everybody. Um, you know, Atonement, Yom Kippur, Shalom, blessings to everybody. Yom Kippur. Those who will acknowledge it. Abba Yah said in all that ways acknowledge him, and he will direct that path. So shout out to those who acknowledge it, even if just in word or a posting on scripture, or it's either a feast or a fast. All of his days are either feast or fast. And so we just thank the Most High Yah for his finished work, right? And I always say the reign of the Gentile will be over soon. Um, but we got to trust the Most High Yah and what he got. Nothing happens without his hand or permission. Even though it seems like they're running amok and they just people doing a bunch of weird stuff. But it just seemed like those. I guess we gotta pray for those in authority, man, because everybody in all leadership, from school, principals, admin, to the Oval Office, to nation leaders around the world, people just in the swirly state of mind, and they just I don't know. It's just weird. So uh, we got to pray for one another. Very very interesting. But I got some interesting message. It was blessed from Sister Shonda Lodge. Shout out to Sister Shonda Lodge. She reached out to a lot of different ministers and ministries, and I was on that list. And it was basically about uh, unifying and and having unity. And it was sent to leaders, but she said we can share it on the platforms if possible if we wanted to. So I'm going to share it on my platform. What she has sent. It's a 14-minute message. I'm just going to share some of it. It's pretty. It's a blessing. Um, and it was interesting. Some of the people responses, and I guess other people are still yet to open it up and listen to it. But I think it was very very good. I think it was very very good. So I am going to share my screen and share it. We're going to read two scriptures, and then we're going to get out of here. But we got to cast our cares upon Him, because He cared for us. We have to cast our cares upon Him. We take it one day at a time, guys. It is not. It's not a marathon, right? It's not a marathon. I mean, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Because if you run, I don't know if anybody run track. If you're doing a 400 meters, you don't come out the gate just burning it like you would do at 100 meters. You have to take your time and pace yourself and turn it on the last stretch. So 100 meters, you take it all. You just turn it right on from the gate. A 400-meter, you don't come out just burning. Boom. Yeah, you might be in the lead for a while, but you don't have the physical stamina to run the whole race. So I'm gonna share this. Thought it was very interesting. So let's check this out from my sister Shonda Lodge.
You have been chosen by the Most High, Yahuwah, to have influence over His people. Each of us have. I decided to come to you in video form in the same way that many of us actually met. I wanted to talk with you all because there are some things that have been happening within our community, within our nation, that are greatly impacting the work that we're called to do and the people that we're called to serve. As we know, there are many troubling things that have been taking place in the lands of our captivity, in America, throughout the diaspora, and even on the continent. And we talk about those things often. We talk about the Gentiles. We talk about all of the prophetic things that we see taking place. We talk about the history. We talk often in informing and encouraging and exhorting our community to stay steadfast in following Yahuwah, obeying His laws, His statutes, His commands, being born again, and that's wonderful. Many of us have organizations, projects. We have things that we have put our hands to outside of these platforms that are directly for the purpose of serving our nation. And that's amazing. It's so beautiful to see each and every one of our projects going out and impacting people, the people that are often forgotten, the people that are often not considered, not loved. And yet, Yahuwah has placed on many of your hearts the necessity to be a voice, to be a leader, to be an advocate, an ambassador, an activist for your community. But the reason why I'm sending this video here is because we have a deep abiding problem within us. None of our subscribers will get access to this video. This is directly to us. This video is not intended to speak specifically to one person, but rather to speak to the collective of who we are. I wanted to address the mass amounts of offense that is between different people, different content creators, leaders who have been called to influence Yah's people. The two greatest commands that encompass the 10 are to love Yahuwah with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and our neighbor as ourself. I have been deeply grieved over a series of time, not just recent, but over, let's say, the last year, if you will, about how we get along with one another. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend as though we're going to be all holding hands together and singing Kumbaya. That would be great. It would be great for us to sing Kumbaya, Kwam Yasharal together as we anticipate the Most High coming back to regather us, to take us out of these lands. It will be great for us all to get along. I'm not going to sit here and be unrealistic that there's different personalities that rub other personalities the wrong way. But I want to say that we have been in the lands of our captivity for such a long time, ingesting the mindset of the peoples of these nations for such a long time, that we seem to have forgotten that those two greatest commands are not meant to be head knowledge. They're meant to be heart reality. They're not meant for us to just tell our subscribers that this is what we're called to do. They're meant for us to do it. You see, we are the ones with the problem with repentance, with unforgiveness and bitterness, lack of mercy, backbiting, gossip. We are the ones with a problem more than anybody else, because so goes the head, so goes everyone else. Recently, I had a brother who came on my channel and he concluded by saying, when are we going to put away the fighting, the discord among us? When are we going to work together and love each other? And I felt the need at that moment to express to him that we need to give each other grace, because we've had for such a long time mistreatment. We've been trained in the art of hatred towards one another, and it's going to take time for us to reverse that and to love one another. But as I sat in prayer, I realized that in the same time frame in which the Most High has opened up our eyes to our lineage, to our culture, our history, is at the same time that he's requiring for us to do exactly as what he said, to love one another. You see, our projects and our organizations and our artistic work, our books, all of those things, they're great, but none of them will mean anything to the Most High if we lack love. They will be as wood, stubble, and hay before his eyes, and not silver and gold tried in the fire. If we lack love for one another, there is a problem among us. It's a sickness. It's not just in the secular realm where we can look at our bloodline brothers and sisters sabotaging one another or COINTELPRO tactics being used in that realm. It's right here. You see, we are no strangers to every movement that we have seen our forefathers develop, create, get steam being subverted from within. We are no stranger to that, but yet somehow we seem to forget that the reason all of those things were able to happen is because the root is a lack of love for one another. From the time our ancestors were on the plantations and they were rebelling against the slave masters, there was always one or two scary Negroes who had to go and report back to the master and sabotage everything. The civil rights movement taught us the same. Black Lives Matter, the same. It doesn't matter what we start. It doesn't matter how much we have passion for the things that we do. If we don't learn to first love one another, everything that we do will crumble. Everything that we do will fall because we haven't understood why it is that we were cursed in the first place. We were cursed because we didn't love Yahuwah with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. We were cursed because we didn't love our neighbor, Israel, as ourself. We see that in the dividing of the southern and the northern tribes. We see that. We look in Ezekiel chapter 37 and see that the dry bones is all about Ephraim and Judah coming back together. Coming together and not envying one another, not having hatred in their hearts for one another, but being a strong nation and a strong army who has learned their lesson, the lesson of love. But there's too much pride. There's too much pride. There's too much pride. It doesn't matter if I have 10,000 subscribers or you have 50,000 or your neighbor has 100,000. It doesn't matter who's more popular. The popularity contest will mean nothing before the Most High because He is the one who is weighing the balances of our hearts. I wanted to send this message out because I've had to go before Him about my own heart. You see, even as I'm sharing this with you, He had revealed to me that I carried my own offenses, not towards any of you, but people in my personal life, people who have done things to me that have hurt me deeply. People who have betrayed me. People who have used and abused me, taken my creativity and tossed me to the wind. People that were in my own family even. And He said to me that if I didn't deal with those offenses, that I couldn't deal with this one. So I did. I confessed. I confessed my sins. I confessed my unforgiveness. Did I deserve to be treated the way they treated me? Absolutely not. Many of you who have been treated poorly by your Israelite brother or sister, you probably didn't deserve it either. But we have a responsibility as carriers of the light, the salt of the earth, the light of the world. We have a responsibility to shine brighter than the darkness. That darkness wants to take us over. That darkness wants to consume us, and that darkness wants to dictate to us how it is that we are supposed to move. But that darkness is blind. That darkness causes nothing but for us to stumble. And so it's time for us to have a clear vision of Yahuwah's love, because He is love, and He's the only one that can give us the path that we need for our collective freedom. I'm not going to be long-winded. I just wanted to communicate this to you all because I love each and every one of you. I may not have met you. I may not have heard your voice. I may not have talked to you directly, but you need to understand that you are my brother You are my sister. We are family. And if we don't operate like family and we operate like enemies, then we will get the enemy's portion. I hope this message blesses you. I hope this message makes you think. I hope this message impacts the way that you move forward from here, the decisions that you make. I pray that even as you hear my words and Yahuwah draws up the person in your heart that has offended you, that you don't ignore it, that you don't push it back down and justify it and tell yourself that that's not what's really going on. There's other things that you don't understand as to why it is that I don't trust this person or I don't want to forgive this person. We all have our reasons. We all have our pain. We all have our hurt and betrayal. But as I said before, that none of that matters in the grand scope of the kingdom of Yah. This is not our personal kingdoms that we're building. This is his kingdom. Not our will, but his be done. Even as our Messiah laid his life down willingly for the sheep, he stood there and watched the people that he served for 3 years betray him. 1 minute they were saying, Hosanna unto the Most High. And the next minute they were saying, crucify him. And his response, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The difference is that we do. We now know exactly what we're doing. And so it's important that we examine our hearts, If you feel compelled to share this message with the people who you've been called to serve in your organization, on your channel, then you have all rights and freedom to do so. But I wanted you to hear this first. You are the leader. You are the one who Yahuwah has given influence over his nation. So you have the greater responsibility. Well, I pray that this leads to our collective unity. I pray this leads to us coming together, talking, maybe via Zoom. I don't know. Maybe we can come together and actually pray that 2 Chronicles 7:14 prayer and really mean it. Whatever it is, just understand that we have a first responsibility to be busy about our Father's business. Our Father's business is to love him with our heart, mind, soul, and strength, all of it, and our neighbor as ourself. Thank you for taking the time to listen on this Shabbat. May Yahuwah bless you and your loved ones.
All right. So praise Most High Yah for that. Praise the Most High Yah. That was very sobering to hear it the first time, and then to hear it again is very, very sobering. Yeah, but a lot of times we don't understand and know a lot of the triggers, the trauma, the pain that we've done, that we've been through and dealt with. And again, it's not to make light of it, or it's not to be the victim either. But subconsciously, we went through a lot of stuff. That's why the Most High Yah say, "Cast your cares upon Him." Why? Because He cares for us, right? And so it's a greater responsibility, just other than just finding out who true Israel is. It's a greater responsibility to it. He said, "Come and learn of me." He said, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." You know, um, and so that's very, very important. Shout out to Apostle Curtis Lewis. Shalom, blessed to you. Jason Camphor, everybody in the chat. Jason Camphor, shalom. Charles West, blessings to you. Dale J, you already know. Thank you, Dale J. Blessings to you. Kimberly J, blessings to you. Wife LaDonna Bazell, blessings to you. Blessings to Ninja Firewall, shalom, blessings to you. And you love Yah and everyone else in the chat. Aruka, thank you for swinging by. Blessings to you, Aruka, at the well. But it's very humbling. It takes a big person to say, "Yo, Don P always in the building. Blessings to you. Salama. But it's always takes a big person to say, yo, it's me standing in the need of prayer, right? It's me that it messed up. It's me in the need of repentance, right? Um, and sometimes the other person can be off and wrong, but how did you respond to it? That's just shows the maturity in it. How did you respond to how that person acted? You know what I'm saying? If they did do anything, I'm gonna read that Galatians 6. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy, man. Knowledge do puff up, um, but pride comes before the fall, and we're not called to pride. And we've been through enough as a people, beat up, slapped up, hung from trees, gator bait, you name it, identity theft, identity crisis, you name it, right? Punching bag, been through a lot. So it's time to repent and come back and be in our rightful place. You know what I mean? You don't hide a light under a bushel, right? And we might not everybody across the platform in the awakening might not believe everything verbatim the same way, but that was the same way how it was when we in the church and stuff like that. They have different splinters and denominations or whatever. But the Most High, He's gonna fix all that. We prophesy part, we preach in part, but He's gonna get the glory. So I think if we humble ourselves and seek His face, and say, "Yo, the Most High, we want the Most High to be glorified, right? Instead of me being puffed up or whatever." So let's read this right here. It says in this Galatians 1:6, brethren, if a man be overtaken in the fault, ye which are spiritual, this is if you're spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. If a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man provoke his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things. Be not deceived, Yah is not mocked. So whatsoever man sow, that shall he reap. And that does not mean just bad, like I mentioned before. That means good too. Don't be faint, right? I was talking about being faint, being numb, and being indifferent. Being faint, being numb, and being indifferent. Because you can faint, right? Your heart can fail you because of what comes upon the earth or what was said or what was done, right? You can be numb. Numb means you can't feel. If you think about when you go to like the when you go to the dentist and they numb your jaw feel bigger than what it is. You know, you can't if you can bite the inside of your jaw and not even feel it, right? You be just numb, and that's how our heart and our soul and our spirit can be numb, right? Callous, hard, numb, right? So faint, numb, or indifferent. Like, well, indifferent is like, man, I don't care, whatever, or whatever attitude, when he called us to something greater. So it said, be not deceived, Yah is not mine. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall reap of the flesh shall reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall reap everlasting life. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So those, all you on this channel and all us on the playback, be not weary in well doing, family. Continue to press towards the mark of the high calling. Continue, right? Prayer, fasting, showing the love of Yah, showing the light. This is a dark world. And Abba Yah put us in this world for such a time as this to show the light, to show the love. That's what he called us to do, to show light and show love in this dark world. And so we can't faint. What does John 10:10 say? John 10:10 say the enemy come but to steal, kill, and destroy. But I come that you may have life and not more abundantly. But he wants the leaders those who know the truth to be numb, to be faint, to quit, to give up, right? To be indifferent, right? To have a hard heart, to have a root of bitterness, right? To have pride, right? To have, spiritual pride. Okay, the Most High reveals something to us. Knowledge puffeth up. He said he resists the proud, but he would give grace to the humble. So when he gives something to us, sometimes it's time to give it out to others. Sometimes it's time, no, just for you. For our intimate time together, I'm going to share this with you. And you chew on it for a while, you meditate on it for a while, and before you go give it out. Sometimes we give out stuff uh, before it's time. It's time to give out stuff and people are not ready for it. He gave it to you in the place of intimacy, and then here you go sharing it. They don't understand. Like what? Right? If you think about it, sometimes the Most High Yah, he give you something they don't know. They wasn't in that secret place with you and the Most High Yah. He gave that to you. And then other times you do say, yo, share this with everybody. Share this with everybody. But first we gotta digest it, consume it first, and meditate on it and get it in our being first. Taking care with your liberty. 1 Corinthians 8. Not as touching things offered up to idols. We know that we have knowledge. A knowledge puff up, but charity or that love edifies. So knowledge puffed up, so we can get, it's good to know things, but the main thing is to win people back to the reconciliation. We're part of the reconciliation. That's why Paul said, one man plant, one man water, but Abba Yahuwah is going to get an increase, right? Sometimes folk get offended at the finished work of Yahusha. He's a stumbling block for that. But I'm just saying, we don't want to get in the way, but because we are in our flesh, right? We puffed up with pride, and we think we the next best thing since sliced bread. No, Abba Yahuwah let us participate in this. This is his stuff. We can't forget that. This is his stuff. Okay. Did it share the next tab? Oh, share this tab instead. It share this tab. I'm sorry. I ain't even share this. Okay, there we go. 1 Corinthians 8. As touching things offered unto idols, we know that we have knowledge. Knowledge puffed up, but charity edified. Edified means from the word edifice, when it builds up, right? To build up. Um, and if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet he also, as he ought to know. But if any man love Yah, the same is known of him. Amen. So we just thank the Most High Yah for that. And then she said that Second Chronicles 7:14, which is, that was pretty interesting too. We'll go down here to Second Chronicles 7:14. We know this one. If my people, well, let's go on to 7:12. And the Most High appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard thy prayer, and I have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. And my eyes shall be open, and my ears shall utter unto the prayer that is made in that place. Amen. So basically, we have to humble ourselves and be honest, right? It's always a him. It's him. It's her. She did this. He said that. Yeah, sometimes some stuff people be doing some bogus stuff, right? But some stuff can be reconciled, can be fixed. You know what I mean? Um, and it's real funny how it's like, yo, I'm on the Most High team, and everybody else is the rebellious that's gonna get purged out, and the rebels are gonna get purged out in the wilderness. I'm like, okay, we all got things we got to work on. I'm not making light of nothing, but we all got things we got to work on. So if you're spiritual, as you say you are, help. Pray. Pray for one another. Pray for Israel, right? Is pray for not just true Israel, but the Gentiles that's attached as well. We got enough fighting. We fighting our flesh, right? We fighting our thoughts. We fighting just a whole bunch of stuff. Nations, Confederate nations coming up against you, principalities and powers you haven't seen. We fight against a lot of stuff, but our weapon is Him. Our weapon is His finished work. Our weapon is Yahushua's blood, right? Our weapon is praise and worship, fasting, right? The Word, right? In a dark world, they're trying to get a new world order, new system. They want to pitch out and throw out the things of the Most High. Yeah, you that's listening right now, whether in the playback or in the chat, it's your love and responsibility to rightfully divide that word and stand in that word and say, yo, this is how it goes. And whether they hear or forbear, they can't say they haven't heard it when they stand before them, because you can be like, yo, I sent Charles West to you, right? I sent Aruka at you. I sent Kimberly J your way. I sent Dale J. I sent Ninja Firewall. I sent You Love Yah, Don P. Yehuda. I sent Apostle Curtis. You're without excuse. I sent those people to share the truth with you in love. I sent Eric Tinsley, right? I sent Rohan. I sent those people to share you the truth in love, and you rejected it. But if we close up our bowels of compassion, then they will never get it, right? How can they get it unless we give it to them? Yeah. So praise Yah. Okay, if we're gonna get on the body, we'll just say, oh wait, we have to focus on praying and fasting for each other other than Christian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do. We do. We can't it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Over 400 years removed, can't really trace the lineage back to whether it's the Congo, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Togo. I mean, names and I mean, some people can go back far. I mean, you can do a DNA test and give you the area, but I'm saying that's scattered among the nations, right? You might have family that's in Jamaica, family that's in South America, right? We all over the place, right? Stripped of our customs and cultures. And so it's a big deal. And so trying to rewrite on your heart who you are, right? What you are, what you're supposed to do. We are created in the image and likeness of the Most High Yah. That's who we are. And He said in the dry bones, Ezekiel 38, the dry bones going to rattle, and I'm going to wake you up. That's supernatural. So when you waking up, you know, we all over the place. So the Most High Yah, what He got to do? It said what? The bones still one together until what? That breath came in. That breath was that pneuma, that ruach hakodesh. That ruach came up in them dry bones. Then it lived again. They was on one accord with the spirit. Then it lived again, right? So, uh, yeah, that's what's going on. We're definitely on the battlefield. Praise the Most High Yah, truth. Yeah, and then this is what Apostle Curtis Lewis said, Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yah. Praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. You're right, and I seen that when you had sent that apostle to her. So yeah, man, we got to humble ourselves. We all got a part to play. We all got stuff, right? We all got stuff that we bring to the table, right? I appreciate my brothers and sisters and what they bring to the table. From Apostle Curtis Lewis to Ruka to Pastor Kelly, Dante, Teo. I mean, all of them, Shonda, and Sister E, and I appreciate what they bring because Gates of Hulda and Eve, the black man with Sarah Majanku, all of them, right? You know what I mean? They bring their part to the table, and it was just that for edification to build up, to build up, to build us up, so we can know what's going on. We have been shaken up like a Rubik's cube. You ain't never lying, man. So it takes time. It takes time. So we got to be patient with one another and know that the Most High Yah is going, is going to do what He said He's going to do, like in Ezekiel 38. So no matter how hard the enemy try to steal, kill, destroy, distract, tear down, the Most High Yah is going to get to say so in the end because He already written. When He said it is finished, that implemented a lot. It ain't just finished because he was hung on the tree. It is finished. Like everything is done from this point on. It's finished. Right before the foundation of the world, the Lamb, the Yahushua HaMashiach was slain. So it is finished already. We playing catch up in our mind, will, and emotion, but it's already done in Him. So once we know that, then we can sleep better and we can walk better, and it's all good. So I thank y'all for joining. Just had to be a little transparent, and it don't have to be nothing real major, but we just being transparent with one another. And He said, "Cast your cares upon Him, and don't take it back." We take it back with fear, with doubt, with worrying. We just cast our cares on Him and keep on moving. So we thank the Most High Yah for all of you guys coming in, tuning out every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get another day, but we're gonna see what's going on. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, Dylan Evans in the room. I am out.
Perfect.